And now the gas is running out of the tank. They're way down on E, and the engine's starting to sputter. And we're in that glide now, where the deep state's running out of gas. The engine's popping and spurting and backfiring. And they're trying to guide it over to the side of the road. But they're not approaching a shoulder. They notice they're approaching a cliff. And they've lost control of their power steering. And they have that long, sinking feeling that they're going to be sliding off the edge, down, 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 into the dustbin of history. Ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting worldwide on this Thursday, the 24th day already of May 2018. There is obviously an incredible spectrum of unbelievable news and information. The big story, obviously, is the ongoing negotiations with North Korea are proceeding as expected. The hawks tried to sabotage the deal via Bolton. North Korea also started trying to apply pressure to try to wiggle out of private agreements they made months ago. And so Trump canceled the June 12th meeting. And, of course, I would just expect this to happen in regular negotiation rounds. North Korea knows it's collapsing under the sanctions. And so they will end up coming back to the table. They just don't want to do complete, total denuclearization up front before they are given more guarantees and some type of treaty agreement, which you have to agree with. And I don't like Kim Jong-un, as everybody knows. The whole point is I want to get that communist system off those people's backs. And this is the best way moving forward after 60-plus years of this garbage, since the United Nations would not let us liberate the North Koreans, then just Koreans, from the clutches of the Chi-Coms, who were being advised behind the scenes by the fledgling Central Intelligence Agency and the globalist traitors at the top of that organization. So we'll be breaking that down today. Obviously, there's a lot of news dealing with Trump releasing the hounds and the fact that Rosenstein is being drugged before the head of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees privately. They're talking about appointing a new special counsel, and it certainly doesn't need to be the one-man government Rosenstein, and it doesn't need to be Sessions. It needs to be brought forward, I would think, by the House, and needs to be recommended because this is a serious constitutional crisis we're already in. The president has the power and is supposed to remove these individuals, but because he's decided the current calculus, because the media hyped it that way, that if he removes them, that he somehow is a criminal when they are the criminals. Rosenstein undoubtedly is engaged in serious criminal activity and a criminal conspiracy to defraud voters of this country and establish an absolute dictatorship of a cabal of criminals forming a Praetorian Guard coup within the Justice Department and FBI apparatus, or put in Central Intelligence Agency parlance, stay-behind network, rogue government element operating with the most wanton, insane degree of criminal arrogance I've ever seen in any history book. I mean, it's ridiculous. No one would put up with this. With Schumer and all these other crooks with their tongues hanging out like wild dogs, bragging when he was president-elect, we're going to get you, we're going to throw you out. We've got people in the agencies that aren't going to do what you say. We're going to get rid of you. We're spying on you. As a confidence game for all their other crooks. And now the gas is running out of the tank. They're way down on E, and the engine's starting to sputter. And we're in that glide now, where the deep state's running out of gas. The engine's popping and spurting and backfiring. And they're trying to guide it over to the side of the road. They're not approaching a shoulder. They notice they're approaching a cliff, and they've lost control of their power steering. And they have that long, sinking feeling that they're going to be sliding off the edge, down, 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 into the dustbin of history. I hope they enjoy themselves, because they've been pushing so hard. It means all the normal constraints, because we're a civilized country, are going to be bypassed, because they won't stop and they won't go away. And the decision has been made in the last 2 days to remove the rotten teeth. And it's not even going to really take pliers. It's going to take the will to reach up with your thumb and your index finger and just grab right up at the top of that rotting gum and just wiggle a little bit, pop it right out, let that pus drain out of there. But it's going to be bad for some of us that have been at the tip of the spear. Make no mistake. But that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what freedom is all about. This civilization has been so soft for so long. We've been living off the blood, sweat, and tears of ancestors for far too long.
New information now on the case against President Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, with reports that Evgeny Friedman, or Gene, as Michael calls him, a man known in New York City as the Taxi King and longtime business partner of Cohen, just entered into a plea deal and agreed to cooperate with federal and state prosecutors. But Cohen is tweeting this today: I am one of thousands of medallion owners who entrust management companies to operate my medallions according to the rules of the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission. Gene Fried.
Do I have to remind you? Do you not know what the N-word means? Who it was used on? Mr. Conscious Rapper? Mr. I'm going to make the black community better? So he has a song, apparently, that's got the N-word in it, times 20 plus times, in one song. This guy's clearly in love with the N-word. Clearly in love. I mean, there is no substitute for the N-word. We just have to say that in reference to people, in reference to black people, in reference to those we don't like. N-word. That's what it is, the N-word. Okay, but at the same time, don't be racist and don't use the N-word. So Mr. Conscious Rapper Genius, Kendrick Lamar, brings up a white girl on stage to sing his song, which has the N-word in it 20 plus times, 4 times in the hook, which is the catchiest part of the song, which is the part of the song everyone's gonna remember. Now, how smart is Kendrick Lamar, really? How smart could you be? Now, I heard you were a great rapper. You're winning awards, this and that, and you're supposed to be conscious. But how smart do you have to be to bring a white girl up on stage? Like, I'm sure there were no black people at your concert, right? No black people were there. So you had to bring a white girl up on stage to rap, to do your song, to be, a little karaoke piece, right? Now, let me just quickly mention this fact. There was a study done a long time ago where they found out that the majority of rap music was bought by middle school white males, white boys, okay? White boys are making rappers rich. They're taking their parents' money and making these rappers rich. All right? Now, here's Mr. Rich Kendrick Lamar, living up to every negative stereotype, well, a lot of them, living up to the common stereotype in the black community of looking like a thug, talking like one, like he's from the streets, and everybody knows he isn't. He's soft. You could tell. You could tell the dude is soft. Come on. And even if he's soft, don't try to play the part. I guess that's where the conscious rap part comes in. I guess that's the spot for the soft rappers to who want to rap, but they don't want to be gangsters, right? because that's what rap music, that's what it's become. Everybody is they want to show how toxic and how black male toxic they can be, how masculine they can be. But the conscious rappers, they're the ones who are supposed to have a brain. They're not supposed to do things like have a song with the N-word in it 20 times because I'm a conscious rapper. I'm supposed to be making the black community better.